Welcome to Ahanaf Technique English. Today we will discuss about degree, about the comparison of adjectives, changing of degree, etc. So, come to the next slide. Degree is three types: positive degree, comparative degree, superlative degree. Positive degree, no comparison. There will be no comparison and only the general quality. For example, he is good is the only quality of he, so there is no comparison. Comparative degree, between two persons, he is better than Rohim. There is two persons, so it is comparative degree. Superlative degree, it is between more than two or three persons, that is called superlative degree. How can we identify degree? Positive degree. Positive degree is a pitch of single quality. I said in the last slide. Comparative degree, there will be one independent clause and one dependent clause. And in superlative degree, both the clauses will be independent. In the next slides, I will show you what is independent clause and what is dependent clause. Independent clause, the clause which can describe its meaning by its own. For example, you can see here, you will learn. You will learn. It can describe its meaning. It can describe its meaning, but if you read, it cannot describe its meaning. For this reason, if you read is an dependent clause, you will read is an independent clause. I clear it again. If you read in Bengali, Jodi tumi poro, this sentence cannot fulfill its full meaning, so it is dependent. It needs the help of other sentence. You will learn, tumi shikbe, it can describe its own meaning. Now, dependent clause, the clause that cannot express its meaning by its own. If you read, I said in the last example, I think you all understood my lesson. Now come to the next slide. In this slide, I will show you 5 techniques for changing degree. In these 5 techniques, you will be able to change all the degrees. If you see in positive, no other. If you see positive, in positive degree, if you see no other, you will use then any other. For comparative, for superlative, you will the plus adjective plus superlative degree. These short techniques is mainly for SSC examinee, class 9 examinee. It will help the examinees to retain it in their mind for their upcoming examination. If you see very few, you will change it by then most other. During superlative, you will use one of the plus adjective superlative degree. You must retain it in mind that during very few, noun and verb must be plural. Noun and verb must be plural. Now come to the next point, equal comparison. When the comparison will be equal. For example, Rohim is as good as Shafiq. Shafiq is also good. Rohim is also good. No one is more than any other. For this, during changing into comparative degree, you will use not plus adjective comparative degree. You will use not plus comparative degree. I think you all understood. Now come to the next, unequal comparison. The comparison will not be equal. For example, Rohim is more taller than Karim. In this, Rohim is more taller than Karim means Karim is shorter than Rohim. That is not equal. One is shorter, one is longer. At that time you will use adjective will comparative degree plus then you in these both equal comparison and unequal comparison, there will be no superlative degree, because these comparison cannot get out within two persons. For this reason there will be no superlative degree. In the last slides we saw superlative degree. Superlative degree is more than two persons, but here you can see comparative degree, it is between two persons. You can see comparative degree is between two persons. For this reason equal comparison and unequal comparison cannot be held between two persons, and there will be no superlative degree. In the last two slides I will end my class showing you some examples of the degree. You can see here no other. For this reason in comparative degree you will use than any other. In superlative degree you will use the plus. Best is the superlative form of good. Best is the superlative form of good. So the example is, no other boy in the class is as good as he. He is better than any other. He is better than any other. This one is the symbol of comparative degree, and this one is the symbol of superlative degree. Now come to the next slide. Very few. According to the technique, if you see very few, you will use than most other, and at the time of superlative degree you will use one of the plus adjective superlative degree. Now you can see very few boys in the class are as good as he. He is better than most other boys in the class. You can see in here the boys is plural because there is very few in our positive degree. I think you all understood my lesson. Thank you for watching the video. If you like this video, please subscribe all of our videos to get more videos. I think you all got my lessons and you will subscribe and like our